Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Timeout with SportsAdda. Good morning, Arun, and how are you feeling after yesterday's game?
It's like yesterday never happened. Uh, we were just here on the same show, on the same podcast 24 hours ago, talking about a strange match, a strange collapse. And 24 hours later, I'm in disbelief, really. That match was in Hyderabad's hand. They had it there. I don't know how they just let it go like this. We spoke about this, right? Kolkata
Yeah,
telling Mumbai, ye lijiye aap.
yeah.
Hyderabad did exactly the same to Bangalore. They said, "Here you go. You can take these 2 points from this match." Just recapping what happened. Bangalore got to 149 for 8 after they were put in on the back of. I thought Maxwell was brilliant, scoring
Yeah.
that half century. We'll talk about that innings in a little while. But Hyderabad were cruising when they lost David Warner in the 14th over. I thought, oh, what's happened here? And
Yeah.
as I expected, they ended up falling short by 6 runs. What a bizarre match you had. I cannot understand what happened there.
Completely. If I was in the management yesterday in the Hyderabad team, I would have really been upset at the players. And frankly, it's looking like only the top two have the responsibility. Like a David Warner, I think, has the responsibility to win games. I don't think the guys at 3, 4, 5, 6 are taking any responsibility to close matches, which has been very disappointing because they've all been with the team for a while. Bairstow did a great job opening. I think he might need to come back to his opening position. And somebody in the middle order needs to take up responsibility. Manish Pandey is not a rookie player now. I can understand Samad making a mistake in the chase because that's something very new to him. But Manish making that kind of a mistake or Vijay Shankar not being able to close matches like these. I think Vijay Shankar is also into his third or fourth season now. He's not really a rookie. So they must be really disappointed yesterday. It's a easy 2 points that they've let go of. Again, they'll be struggling in the. They might if they struggle in the end with points being equal. These are the kind of matches you look back and you will have sleepless nights over losing these.
Absolutely. The disappointing thing, Akhil, for me was that like you mentioned, batsmen are not finishing games. And what are the kind of batsmen? These are experienced international batsmen. My
Yeah,
complaint yesterday and day before was on the fact that these guys did not finish it, and the shot selection.
absolutely.
What kind of shots did they play? Bairstow swipe against the line. Manish Pandey, what was he trying to do? Vijay Shankar. These are international batsmen. We're not talking about anybody playing his first game, second game.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
finisher who's come out first season to bat with
yeah.
6 balls to spare. I was extremely disappointed, and if you heard David Warner at the end of the match, he said it hurts. It must be hurting, right? For a
Absolutely.
captain on a difficult surface, that captain, we spoke about him yesterday, he's a
Yeah.
run machine, and he proved that he's a run machine. Got another half century, and when he was there, you thought match in Hyderabad's pockets. But look at how it turned around.
Absolutely, and the guy that they gave the wickets to also, it was not like a brilliant searing spell where he bowled a lot of Yorkers and got them through reverse swing or foxed them through some slower balls or something. It was a young left arm spinner. Kudos to him for handling the pressure, but you are throwing away your wickets by charging down and trying to slog it when it's run a ball. I
Yeah.
don't think I don't know if they watch matches where Virat has there's a live Indian captain who can give you a master class on chases, and I don't know why they don't follow a template. I've never would can imagine a Virat playing shots like that. Can you?
No, absolutely not. We spoke about this. It was 31 from 31 in the game against Kolkata when Nitish Rana was
Yeah,
dismissed, and they fell short. Yesterday game when David Warner was dismissed, like you mentioned, it was just over a run a ball. I think could have been
yeah,
easily accomplished. It
yeah,
wasn't that big a deal. But you also mentioned Shabaz Ahmad, Akhil. I just want to read out one tweet in relation. Let's connect two things. Yeah? Manoj Tiwari, the former India batsman, tweeted post match yesterday. I'll read this out. Free advice to the franchise owners. Rather than increasing the number of support staffs in the team, start having players who have talent with temperament. Otherwise, most of the times the team will end up being second best. Hashtag overrated players. I don't know who he was pointing it out, but two things to come out of that tweet for me. One is he's talking about temperament.
Hmm.
One is overrated players. We'll discuss who the overrated players. We'll speculate about that in a little while. But he spoke about temperament, and clearly your Bear Stores, your Vijay Shankar, your Manish Pandey, well said Manish Pandey didn't have the temperament yesterday. Shahbaz Ahmad, I'll tell you what he did. The average speed of his first over was 92.3 kilometers, right? This was the 14th over maybe, or the 15th over. I can't recall which over. When he came back to bowl the second over, which must have been the 16th over, I think,
Hmm.
his average speed came down to 88.9, which means he was making the batsman wait. That is temperament. That is application, right?
Hmm.
You know when to use which weapon. Clearly, if a young kid who's not, I mean, who's not even in the reckoning for place in the Indian team, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's probably not a first choice starter for Shabazz. I mean, he started
Yeah.
now, yes, but if they had Zampa, would he have started? Would RCB have changed their 11? We don't know. But
Yeah.
for Shabazz Ahmad to come up with that kind of temperament, that kind of change and apply himself, I thought that's temperament for me.
Absolutely, and I'm sure the team management have seen something in it because if you remember, he opened the innings yesterday. No, he came at number three because
Number
Padikkal
three, that
batted.
yeah, yeah.
So, if I mean, outstanding combination. If they can find a spinner to bowl under pressure and bat at three ahead of AB de Villiers and Maxwell, there is something that the team management have seen in him, and he delivered for them yesterday. 3 for 1 in an over, isn't that right? That's the spell he had
Yeah,
in that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Uh,
amazing, outstanding.
And which wickets did he get? It was all the big names. It was one of the well said batsmen, I think. Yeah, outstanding spell. Or
Yeah,
look at how things have changed, isn't it? When we spoke about spell back in the days, it was 6 overs or 8 overs, or one session, and now we
yeah.
talk about 2 overs as a spell.
Absolutely, and like last two matches, we've seen Andre Russell do that in 2 overs.
Mm,
We've seen yesterday Shahbaz do it in 2 overs, and
mm,
I thought yesterday's in better than Shahbaz. There was one bowler who bowled in the entire match, and better than Rashid also uh, was Mohammad Siraj. I think the initial burst that he put in the first couple of overs was outstanding. First 5 balls, he didn't let Riddhiman Saha get away at all.
no.
Everything was spot on. It was fire. It was like pace. There was swing. He got unlucky with the last ball, which like went for 4 byes. But
Yeah, I
I
know.
think that is the kind of setup that teams want. That's how like Kolkata should also get Cummins to start up at the top.
Mm.
He's a premium fast bowler. Get him to rattle up the batsman in the beginning. I think that Siraj spell was outstanding yesterday, even though he's not like mentioned in scorecards because wickets were not there. But that is the kind of impact performances that if I am the captain, I would love to have in my team.
Absolutely, and you've said it all, Akhil. I don't have really too much to add. He's grown. He's matured over the last 2 years. Uh, from being a very expensive bowler, and when I
Yeah.
say expensive, he would leak a lot of runs. No,
Hmm.
he's become the leader of this RCB attack, right? Which is so heartening to see. We know what he's gone through in the last 12 months. We know how he's reached this place. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy for him.
Really happy, seriously happy for him, and I mean, thankfully, I mean, he's found peace while bowling with the white ball and the red ball. He's found the lens. I just hope he continues to get games for India also because with the talent that we have available in the pace attack,
Hmm.
and it's going to be tough for him. But if he keeps up this way and with him, Bumrah, Bhuvaneshwar, I think the bowling attack is going to be deadly for T20 World Cup.
Hashtag rich is what I will say. Two last two performances I want to mention about from yesterday's match. I thought Maxwell was outstanding.
Yeah.
And I want to again address a quote from him. He said, "In all other, I'm not a quick starter. I'm not a first ball six hitter," which is a strange admission. But he
Hmm.
also said, In RCB, I've got the freedom to bat, take my time, because
Hmm.
I know there are batsmen behind me, which is AB de Villiers and whoever else.
Yeah.
And they've given me the freedom, whereas all other teams I've played in the past, they've wanted me to go from ball one, which is a really strange thing to say. I mean, I really thought it told you something about how and what teams have expected of Maxwell.
It's a see. I mean, I take it with a little bit of. I mean, I take it with a little bit of thing where he's talking about more PR for this. I don't think it's possible that every team that he's played for must have told him that you have to go from ball one. I
Hmm.
think when success happens, then you talk about what has worked that season. But I mean, he's worked with some people that I've worked with very closely, like Virender Sehwag, and I've
Hmm.
had chats with him. So
Hmm.
they have given him complete freedom in the past. They've told him you'll play all the games, play your game. They backed him completely. So when success happens, you can talk whatever and you can get away with it.
Right, whatever. I will buy that. But whatever happens, I love the Max. I love Maxwell the way he batted in the first
Yeah.
couple of games, and I wish it continues for the rest of the season.
Agreed. Agreed.
Let's jump over to today's match then.
Yep. Yep.
Happy to look at Delhi v Punjab, Delhi v Rajasthan rather. It's the Northern
Delhi v
Derby, is it?
Rajasthan.
Do they call it the Northern Derby by any chance?
They don't. They try to promote the Southern Derby somehow. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know why, but it's a very interesting battle today. The big news being that Rajasthan are going to miss a big player. But yeah,
yeah.
I mean, look, let's start with the head-to-head. I guess this is a very interesting stat that you have come up with.
It's a strange thing, Akhil. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know if anybody can put a finger to why this has happened. In the first 10 matches between these two sides, the head to head was 4 wins for Rajasthan, 6 for Delhi. Next 7 games, Rajasthan polished them off neatly. Delhi had no chance whatsoever. The
Hmm.
next 5 games, Rajasthan have not tasted success at all. Delhi have polished. So I don't know what's happened. I mean, explain it. If somebody looks at the stats, overall head to head, it's 11 apiece. Okay,
Hmm.
so what's there
Hmm.
in it? But last 12 matches, it's been 7-5, and when one team's on the roll, the other team hasn't been able to stop them whatsoever.
Yeah, I think Delhi have cracked the code. Like last, if you've seen the last 5 games, I think they've been a lot more consistent in the last 2 or 3 seasons. So maybe that's the reason that they've managed to surpass this. But what do you think about Ben Stokes not being there? It's a huge blow, right?
It's a big blow. It's a massive blow. Yeah. Uh, I mean, I've been a huge fan of his. There was the first season that Ben Stokes played in the league. I followed him around, uh,
Hmm.
and here's a man who could do everything.
Hmm.
Literally, you give him the ball, he'll pick up a wicket. You keep him in the outfield, a short cover, slip, he'll get you a catch. Throw him in a number three, number four, he'll get you a quick 550. Maybe he got 100 in that season as well. So I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan of Ben Stokes. And I think, sorry, uh, looking at the build-up of that Rajasthan side,
Hmm.
I don't know they have too many match winners. They were already big on young talent. The mid order was kind of okay. So I think Ben Stokes not being available because of that finger injury is a massive blow, massive blow. No matter
Yeah.
who they bring in, no matter who they bring in, but Stokes not being there is a huge thing.
Hmm.
I'll tell you one other thing. And this is something I'm trying to find out why Stokes will stay on with the team.
For seven
He's
days, isn't
injured.
it?
I don't know. I didn't read the press release, but the press release said he will stay on with the team. Is it for 7 days only?
That's what I've heard. I think he'll stay on for 7 days. I think he might just finish off whatever sponsor commitments are there, or might finish the quarantine in India and then head to whichever country that he wants to. Because I think the policies for going back to the respective countries will also be very tight. So he'll just monitor, keep himself in a very secure environment for the 7 days, and then might need to go back. That's what I've heard.
Interesting. Cool. One quick battle I'm looking forward to, and this is two guys in effect we're battling for the same spot in the Indian team. Rishabh Pant versus Sanju Samson.
Hmm.
Both of them exceptionally talented. Young
Yeah.
captains, both have only captained one league match so far. Which side are you leaning?
Rishabh versus Sanju is like the stats are very nice for both of them, but look at like Rishabh's stats are just outstanding. I mean, they are much better in terms of average, in terms of strike rate also, and I think in terms of impactful performances also. I think he's had much more impactful performances. So I think Rishabh is somebody that I think I'm leaning towards.
I would lean towards Rishabh as well. The I mean, when Sanju bats, he bats like in a dream. You will sit back, enjoy it. It's like
Hmm.
a fine, I don't know, fine wine, fine whiskey, whatever. You'll enjoy it, right?
Hmm.
And then there'll come a phase when he just cannot buy a run. That's the disappointing thing. He's got 300s in the league, which is
Hmm.
no mean feat, no easy feat, right?
Yeah. No, it's not. I mean, he's always been one of the performers who's been spoken about each season, but he's not that had that kind of a season like a Virat has had or like Warner has year on year. That's how people start respecting you more. When you know that you can be counted upon to be taking up responsibility and getting all those runs. So that's what has been missing. I think Rishabh has already had one of a season like that. I think he's got over 600 or 700 runs in one season. And I mean, he's just bought me over with the kind of knocks that he's played in Test cricket in the last 4 or 5 months. I think that is just got a lot of respect for him now. Under pressure to deliver those kind of performances and still be able to play the way that he does in a white ball T20 format. It's a very rare combination, right? I don't think anybody is capable of such knocks. If the closest I would think is a Gilchrist playing those kind of knocks in his prime, but not a Kohli, not a Steve Smith, not a Butler. Nobody's been able to pull off managing both formats the way that this guy has done right now. So hats off to him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a difficult thing to do, but to deliver in both formats, and Rishabh's done it, and hopefully it continues for a long, long time. Last player I want to speak about, looking at it, today's game is Rabada. Uh, Sensational last year. He's just come into the side. Uh, Available for selection. Walks in straight, you think?
Walks in straight. I think he'll come in for one of the Pacers, and Vokes might play today. Vokes and Rabada might just be the Pacers with maybe an Avesh. So that's the combination. But this guy has been just too good for his team. Look at the wickets that he's picked up. Like if, between middle overs is when he's been used a lot for Delhi, and death also he's done. I mean, these are stats for a complete strike bowler. In and out strike bowler. You get him back whenever you need him. He's almost like the Bumrah to Delhi's team.
Hmm. Talking about those wickets, 2 wickets in the power play. I think 11 in the middle overs and 17 in the death overs. This is last season, obviously.
Hmm.
Outstanding. If only he can get those early breakthroughs this season, I think Delhi will become a lot more threatening,
I
a
don't
lot
know
more.
if he's bowling in the power play. That's why I think he doesn't have wickets. I think they opened last year with different bowlers to start with. Tushar Deshpande and a couple of other Indians were there. I think they might still keep Rabada to bowl in their death. And now they have Ishan, they have Umesh also. He can bowl at the top. And obviously Avesh Khan has delivered for them last match. So I don't know if they need to change. It's the same wicket, same pitch again, and it's going to be a high scorer, isn't it today? Not the
Oh,
Chennai kind
absolutely.
of
No, no.
scores.
Well, I actually like the middle scorers, the low scoring games, but
Hmm.
yeah, Wankhede Stadium means you're looking at a 180, 190. Quick
Fantastic.
call, quick call. Who are you leaning with?
Delhi, I think they should consolidate and get 4 or 5 wins to start off with, so that I mean that's the one team, one or couple of teams will break away. So I think Delhi has that right now. Uh, I think the toss will be important. Batting second at Wankhede is always going to be easier. So whoever wins the toss might still have the advantage today, but Delhi for me today.
Delhi it is for me as well. Uh, yeah, so that's about it on this edition of Timeout with SportsAdda. Thanks, Akhil. Enjoy
Thank
the rest
you,
of the day, and
and
we'll
see you
catch up
again
again
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Thank